everybody. Welcome. Oh, we got our party music on.
Oh,
there we
yeah,
go.
we're still partying. Hello, everybody, and welcome here. It is Thursday, evening. I guess it is evening. Thursday evening, maybe it is afternoon, maybe it is Friday morning for you. Well, what it means, it is almost the end of the week, and that already sounds much happier, doesn't it? Hello and welcome everybody here in the chat. Good to see you here. We're going to talk today about some breaking things happening throughout the day, and of course we want to know your opinion as always. That's why we're live. That's why we have live chat. We want to know what you think about all of that, but that's just in a moment. Before that, we want to say hi as always we do here to everybody and welcome you here.
Alrighty, folks, don't forget to hit that like button. We were had our first one ready. That went yellow. This one's not going to be far behind it, so we can take advantage of that traction while we got it. If you guys can hit the like button, tweet it out, tell friends, all that good stuff, it will really help us out a lot, because we know without a doubt this one is going to get what's coming to it. So any help on that would be greatly appreciated. You folks know a lot of people. It's already, I think, happening, but we'll see what happens. We'll play it by ear. So, but I can tell by that pause that's going on, it's going to be going a bright yeller in just a second.
Well, that just means that you guys can help us and help you to spread information and get even more people to voice their opinions, and all opinions are welcome here in this chat by sharing it out on Twitter, Facebook, wherever you can, or your community post. We have posted our community post as well, so you can even go from your mobile and share it out. Yes, it has a share button. It's as easy as that. It's free, and it takes literally 1 second to do. Thank you so much if you've already done that.
Yeah, sorry guys, I'm just working on the side scenes. We'll not call it the behind the scenes because I'm out in front of you. Hi. I'm just trying to keep this show afloat for a few minutes, but yeah, I have a feeling this is not going to get want to be pushed too much. I'm pretty much definite on my answer.
Now, before that, we talked about already preparing this, as most likely this is going to happen, but nevertheless, as always, we try to bring you lots of new things and things that are affecting you as well, and we want to hear your opinions, so we decided to go with it anyway.
Now, folks, you know what's on the cover. It's not about that. We do not want this getting all political. Please have respect for everybody in here. This is not about that part, okay? So just want to say, no name calling, you know how that can go sometimes. We're doing it because we know you guys are more than capable of it. You guys are a amazing breed of YouTuber. So if you guys can help us out and keep it flowing that way, it will be greatly appreciated. So
yes, that's right. I want to say the disclaimer right away. We are in Canada. We are Canadians, so we have no impact on any election on either side of the parties, and therefore, we don't take sides, and we hope that you can be respectful toward each other no matter what in the chat as well, or you will be removed. So please be
as an Arche, we do not allow spamming in here of any type, so I had to time you out. If you didn't spam so much, I was going to give you a warning. You're welcome back, but we don't allow any kind of spamming like that, please. Thank you so much. The Bee Lady shared it to Twitter and community. Well, thank you so very much, and great to see you. To Shane Family Vlogs, how are you doing? There's the man. Gambler After Dark is in the house. How are you? KDB17. We have Artco Drone Solutions in the house. Welcome. We got Red and Classy in the house. There she is. There's the lady. Pixel P, a lifelong learning. Great to see you. And speaking of great ladies, because she Shed is here as well. Great to see you. DJ, what is going on? Hope you're doing fantastic. Something's going on really strange. Now, either somebody doesn't want us to talk about it, or YouTube doesn't. So I'm not quite sure in this one. I'm still trying to figure out what is going on here, which part of which, if it's both, if it's some, if it's all. I don't know.
Well, the main thing, guys, is that you are here in the chat, and you are the ones that can share it out as well, alongside with me. That's what I'm doing right now, and I hope you can help me with that as well. In the meantime, hello to everybody that is already in the chat. As always, we have a little bit of housekeeping beforehand, and let some people late to the game joining in as well, as this is a spur for moment live, meaning we didn't schedule it ahead of time.
Got my free nest, Paul Peck is saying. There you go. Congratulations. And old guy in a bike, great to see you as well. Hope you're doing fantastic. Wheels, keels, snowmobiles. How's things? Doing great. How are you doing? And Jenny O'Brien, the lady that keeps us in line.
Yes.
She got her work cut out for her.
Jenny, exactly. There's a lot of that. There are two of us here. A lot of that to keep us in line. That's for sure.
I'm sure it is Deshane Family Vlogs. We've been very busy, Pusa, trying to make our yard beautiful. I'm sure it looks amazing. Just motivational moment of more. How are you? Drew, Douglas, how are you? Folks, Ben Bird Person, what's going on? Great to see you. Folks, please share this out. This is not a regular time. And the first one we put up was yellow, so we didn't even go live with it, but we have a feeling this one is going to be right along the bend. So if you guys can help us out on that, it really makes a huge difference. Destination Chronicles tweeted you. Well, thank you so very much. How are you doing tonight? Great to see you. Meme resells. What is going on? How are you doing? It's great to have you all in here.
Good to see you all. Really good. We love these types of live streams here. We love sharing with you information and also knowing your thoughts about what we're discussing. A little YouTuber reaction conversation, so to say. And as we said before, no matter which side of the fence you are, all opinions respectful are welcome. Guys, click that like button and share it out if you can. We do appreciate that a ton. And you might say, well, why did they don't start right away? It's because we let people to come in so we don't have to repeat ourselves over and over.
And then you're like, oh, these people never stop. They go on with the same thing over and over and over. My non-traditional life of big heads, big dreams. How are you? Great to see you. Great to see you. Welcome.
Oh, welcome here. Now, you would think that my husband would take this over so I can share it out.
Alrighty, folks. I've been talking away and saying hi to everybody and all that stuff. And yes, folks, once again, please hit the like button, tweet it out, tell friends, all that good stuff. Big Heads, Big Dreams says done. Thank you so very much for that. Do appreciate it. You are absolutely magnificent, and we truly appreciate you for it. Good Nolimo. Welcome. Sheba Speaks, how are you? Good to see you. Hope you're doing fantastic. Blind Neil, how are you? Spritzes Pusa Studios with cold water. You both look a touch warm.
Oh, yes. It's a little bit better today, but yes, thank you so much for thinking about us.
We appreciate that, Neil.
It's starting to cool down, thankfully, hopefully for a couple of weeks at least.
But there was a lot of running around this evening, so his plans changed for what we were going to do in that. But that's okay. That's okay. We don't mind. Figured this was a good topic to cover. The bee lady is really enjoying those emojis. I love it. Looking good. Thank you so much once again for becoming a member last night. Do appreciate it. And as well, folks, don't forget about it. Yes, we're going to mention our memberships, but only for a moment. There's a link right there. If you're not a member yet, for the price of a super chat, you can get benefits that last the whole month long. There you go, folks. Admit you just take your time so I can get sis in bed. Well, Pixelpia, we would never rush you, but we always love having you in here. But we know how full your hands are. Like we said, we don't know how you do it. You must have a cape like Paul Peck. I think both of you have capes. We have, here's our 2 packages, folks. That's right. You get badges in front of your name. Custom emojis, like you just seen the bee lady sporting there. A private Facebook group access to all the members. And as well, our Tech Talk Tuesday is now a new show, and it's for members only. And we'd love to have you by. You want to talk YouTube, any shape or form, new to it, been into it for years, we'd love to have you there. We're just picking up steam with it, and we want it to only get better and better and give you guys more and more benefit for your buck. So hope you can check it out. Just click that join button there, or just click the super chat button, and underneath all of it, there is an option right there for memberships as well. So if you can check that out, love to have you.
Thank you so much. And yesterday we had 4 members joining us just yesterday.
Yep.
That was super amazing. So thank you so much for joining us. And I hope those of you that joined us just recently have already accessed your Facebook group as well as our community posts only for members as well. Especially today. Especially today, guys. And yes, if you consider, we do appreciate. But we appreciate you being here even without being a member here. We just love seeing you here, and thank you for watching us. We're gonna jump into the subject just in a moment.
Jenny. I agree. We need more emojis. That's right.
Yeah, Sandra, we need more emojis.
Hashtag more emojis. That's right. I agree. I couldn't agree with you more. It's gotten so crazy lately, but definitely that's sat in the back burner way too often. Alrighty, so I think I figured out who Arshay is. A little bit of whiff of the whale there, so we're going to make your life easier. There you
Hello
go.
to Randy's Paranormal Investigation RPI. Hello,
Welcome.
Francis Rogers, senior comment. Thank you so much. In fact, we touched up on this subject. No, not directly because it wasn't happening there just yet. But in general, we talked about Section 230 back in February. Yes, guys, back in February. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about. Not just about today, but how it all came to be and what actually hides behind the lines. If you don't know the backstory of what happened since the beginning of this year up until this moment today, you might not know the whole story. And we'll let you make your own conclusions after that.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, so stick around. There are some things probably you haven't heard if you haven't read 230 yourself or haven't been keeping your interest tabs on that as we have since the very beginning of this year as well.
Laura Bruno, how are you? Great to see you. Hope you're doing fantastic. Welcome. Hey, Truckman on Fire. I know you've been so busy lately, but it's great to see you. Always a pleasure to have you in. My non-traditional life says I remember that discussion.
Yes, that's right. And we are continuing on that. I wouldn't say we called it, but almost.
I remember us trying to shoot this thing.
Oh my God, yes, that was fun.
Yeah. Salvatore Vinciguerra, how are you? Great to see you. Hope you're doing fantastic. Welcome. Hope you guys are all doing great. And folks, yes, if you haven't hit the like button, please do. It's so locked at 34, I don't even know what to say. I got a couple ideas, but nonetheless, so.
Okay, guys. Well, click that like button and share it out for us. If you can do that, we do appreciate that as well. We're gonna jump into our topic just in a moment. So grab your coffee or your choice of drink if you can. We do appreciate you being here. So we want to feel comfortable. Maybe popcorn. You know, if you feel it's entertainment, popcorn might be fitting. And if you feel it's some education, well, you need your notepad. Yes, Pixelpia, exactly, and it's all just a part of it. But for those of you that haven't heard our live stream from February of this year, touching up on this, we're gonna just vaguely kind of touch up on what happened there, so you see the whole picture as well. Obviously, just want to remind you, we're no politicians or lawyers here. We're not experts. These are our thoughts and, of course, information for you to analyze and figure out your own conclusions. Yes, B-Lady Apiary, yes, thank you so much. I'm sure some of you have heard about it as well. Old guy on a bike, hello. And now some of you might think that it is not affecting you since you are not in the United States. Well, that might not be true. Yeah. Because it's the same as that happened with COPA ruling in January for YouTube and really for all internet across. It doesn't affect just Americans, it affects everybody because all the major social media companies are based in United States. And even if you are not in the United States, if part of your audience, even one person, is from United States, well, the rules apply to you too. Yeah, so it applies to you too, no matter where you are. So sometimes, some orders go out for everyone. Now, in light of what we're going to be talking about, I just read about New Zealand, who actually came out with a new legislation as well. Ruling about their social media. So it's going to be an interesting year and lots of changes, I think, to come.
Somebody just sent us a screenshot.
Yeah.
They got an ad, of course. Well, that's good. They're showing ads here. That's good. Ad was to sign up for Donald Trump's birthday card.
Well, isn't that amazing? Political ads. We're not for or against. No, we're in Canada, as we said, so we can't vote, and we're not affecting it in any way. But that's what it is. I think, is better than nothing. We're not supporting any particular party. As I said, we are in Canada, so we kind of are in the neutral zone for that. Cichlets, hello, good to see you. How are you doing? Good to see you here. Yes, good to see everybody here as well. Say hi in the chat. Miss T. Lou, hello, how are you? Say hi in the chat, please, guys, so we can say back, hi back to you. That's right. We don't bite. Say hello.
It's just Jack. How are you? Welcome. My traditional life says social media is getting more attention with so many people online. Partly, yes, in that one, there has been a big rush. I think that's kind of blown off a little bit now at this point with everybody. I think they have social media burnout in some points. And now we're kind of, this was what I was thinking today when I seen this. It's kind of like, well, now we're getting kind of back to business. It feels like, give me the doll. How are you? Great to see you. Great to see you.
It's just Jack. Hello and welcome back here. Haven't been here in a year. It's nice to be back. Well, welcome back. Welcome back. Good to see you back here.
Cichlid's 23. It's 103 here. Not good. LOL. Same here in Montreal. Yesterday was 104.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the same temperature. That sounds like I'm trying to play like old man weather game. It's in the same temperature here yesterday. Horrible. Couldn't agree with you more. Couldn't agree with you more.
It's so funny because his father does that. My father-in-law.
Unreal.
And it's funny how their sons are so the same as their fathers. That was just so cute and funny at the same time. Hello, Grant McIntosh. He's saying hello exceptionally to me only, Andrew. So hello back only from me.
Oh, okay. My bad.
The Dark Order, hello, good to see you here as well. The member stream was great. Well, thank you so much. I hope you got a chance to check out our Facebook group. Unfortunately, a YouTube community page doesn't allow to post videos like from the get-go. You have to post the video first and then link to it. So if there is anything, that is just a short video to show, that usually ends up on Facebook. And that's what happens today. Discovered a new feature on YouTube and posted that on our Facebook members group. So yeah, check it out. And if you haven't just yet, check out the link on the community page. Wait and see what kind of rules for Canada on social media. Yeah, well, it have been talked about, but I can tell you something, that there's going to be no ruling of any kind before this C-19 thing ends, because our Prime Minister is super focused on everything and anything around that, and everything else is pushed away. So there's going to be no changes, at least till September, if not even after that. Grant McIntosh, how's it going?
Thank you, Grant. Thank you for asking. I do appreciate it. Quicksilver, how are you? Great to see you. Hope you're doing well, Grant as well. It's great to have you all in here. Let's see where we're at, folks. Let's see where we're at. 42. Now when I said that, and all of a sudden went up, and we're still, I don't know. I think it's a little bit of butt cam myself, but we'll see what happens. But we're not going to take too long in it tonight, folks. We're going to jump in this very soon. Like I say, it's not our usual time. We were yellow coined right off the bat, so we're not expecting a ton of push from it. But if you guys can let everybody know, and it's as simple as hitting the like button, and if you could tweet it out, well, that just puts it right over the top, through the roof, and out into the field. So you can do that. That would be absolutely awesome.
That's right, guys. Please do that. And as your chance to grab that last bit of coffee, we have coffee here. I'm switching to cold coffee lately because of the weather changes. Well, at least it's not piping, scorching hot like yours is.
I'm doing the old farmer thing where they say something warm cools you out on the outside. So there you go. That's all the farmers used to say. Drink something warm and you'll feel cool on the outside.
Okay. Yeah, our farmers used to drink sugar water. I remember bringing it to my grandfather on the field when I was little.
I was going to make a joke. Now she's her grandfather, and I can't do it now.
Exactly. That's why I said it. It's true, though. It's still true. I know my husband very well.
Oh my God almighty.
Yeah, guys. Let me ask you a question. I sometimes ask here in chat. I want to know where you're from. Let us know. Is it hot? Is it cold? Maybe it's freezing. If you're in Alaska, it might be colder than it is here in Montreal. And if you are in Arkansas, well, it might be just the same weather as here in Canada. You never know. You never know. Only in Canada here. Let us know, where are you at? Is it cold or is it hot? Do you like the hot weather? I'm not sure. My non-traditional life says, I'm excited to get my air conditioner fixed tomorrow. I would be too. An iced coffee for salted caramel picks up a that sounds delicious. I should try that Daltona coffee that is so trending everywhere. Started on TikTok and now YouTube is all crazy with Daltona coffee. So gonna try that.
Florida, hot.
Yeah.
Wendell, how are you? Good to see you. West Haven, how are you? Just shared in telling you the devil we're going overtime. Yes, sure is. Sorry, how are you?
Well, now, when do the good angels can work overtime? That would be a good solution.
Yeah, we need some angels.
Some angels doing. Hello, everybody here in the chat. And Willow. Willow Whimsy here as well, only for a moment from Minnesota. New Jersey here as well. North California, 103, and not a fan of the heat.
Val's Life, how are you? Great to see you. Hope you're doing fantastic. Welcome. Hope you're doing Saskatchewan, Canada. It's cool, below seasonal for sure. I want to move back to Saskatchewan. That's it. So
Yeah, well, summers, I guess it's better there, but there's no protection. If it's hot, then there's no trees to hide at. So.
Eggy roll. You're gonna get banned in about 20 seconds, and if I have a feeling you're leading towards something to tell us here by what you said. Just come in and act normal and you wouldn't get banned. That's all. It's very easy to fix.
KDB, 25 degrees in UK. I know, Europe is so much nicer in the summer. Super sticker, super chat, super sticker, super chat, super sticker, super chat, super sticker, super chat. West Haven, always and forever. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the super sticker, super chat. Do appreciate that. West Haven, always and forever.
Mr. Boom is in the house. How are you, Farmal? Good to see you. West Haven, always and forever. Thank you so very much. Do appreciate it. Cool off after 3 days in hot in Ontario, Canada. Yeah, Jenny, I know. I'm hope we're supposed to get it tomorrow night. It's supposed to break. We're waiting on thunder showers. Patiently. We got a little tiny bit tonight, but none.
You know what is interesting? I'm trying to share our live stream here on Facebook, and some of the posts got removed by Facebook.
Eggy Roll, read the topic. That's for tonight, okay? Yes, advice. Stop being a pain in the ass, and it probably won't happen. There you go. There's advice. Now it's all about you. Now can we move on to everybody else? Thank you very much. I'm too tired to even ban you right now. I'm so fed up.
I think we should just jump into the subject here.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I'm trying to share it out on Facebook, and Facebook is removing my share here as against community guidelines, which is super interesting. Val's Life, AK Puddles, FPV, thank you so much. Act right, drink coffee, it helps. Very true.
We get it right into our veins at this point. I swear to God. Thank you so much, Val. Do appreciate it. And the message, not the sticker, well, you just win my heart every time on that one. Everybody check out Val's Life. She did make Xenia scream like a banshee. And we gotta love that, so.
Thank you so much. We appreciate Val's Life Aka. AKA Puddles. Oops, truck, our daughter the other day corrected me and said, Mommy, it's not oops. It's UPS.
Good thing our 9-year-old daughter kicked in and fixed that one. I've been telling her that for years. That's what they call the UPS in Latvia.
Yeah.
Oh, look, it's the oops truck.
Well, considering how they're handling the deliveries, I would say it is oops truck.
Now, do you notice a bunch of people have come in and said hi, but it won't go past 42? And when I said about it not passing 34, it went up to 42? Join us after when we do a stream all about who's botting us.
XOXO AIM, hello, good to see you here as well. My non-traditional life, it might be the glitch, it might be also what we're talking about. I think the certain name in the title probably is triggering a whole bunch of things on any platforms, really. Verbal Kim FPV, hello, how are you? Because we are not authoritative voices, they are pushing those more than they are anybody else.
Above and Beyond Drones, thank you so much. Glad you enjoyed the rant. Thank you for that. Furball Kim FPV, what is going on, buddy? Great to see. Hope you're doing fantastic. Wiki RC, did I win? Yes, that's Wiki's opening line every time it comes in after one of my other rants, so I love that so much. And Farmal said, where was his message? Facebook removed a friend's post today. They appealed, and it is back since it did not violate policies.
Yeah, I posted by my non-traditional life that I just answered to. Thank you so much.
He was talking about my non-traditional life?
Yeah.
I thought it was two separate cases.
No, that was my non-traditional life. That was saying, I don't know about Farmal. Do they have the same problem on Facebook?
Alrighty, folks, it's great to have you all in here. Hit the like button, tweet out, tell friends, all that good stuff. It's going up to 47 now. It's not going here. There's a bit of a discrepancy going on. Let's refresh that and see if it tells what it is. I got 3 different numbers everywhere I go. But yeah.
Blind Neil, hello. No, it's completely understandable. Thank you so much for listening. And guys, hello to everybody who's just listening to us as well. I do appreciate that a ton. Thank you.
Alrighty, folks, so if you haven't done it already, help us out, get the word out, let them know what's happening, and I think it's about time to get into it. What do you think?
Yeah, let's do it.
Alrighty, folks, alrighty. There you go. I have a question first. I have a question first. Just give me a second. And I know there's a couple that already know, but I want to give everybody else a chance to see. 1 second here.
Big Selfie, thank you so much. Yeah, some of them gets removed and some of them are staying. That's so weird. Thank you.
Of course, when you want something, right? You know how it goes. Already. Okay. You guys have seen the thumbnail. I want to ask you guys before we start. We did this the last time we used anything on a pop culture and that. What is this a reference to? What reference is this thumbnail based on to? What inspired it? Do you know?
Let's see who knows the answer to this super quiz question. Who is our thumbnail a reference to?
Do 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 do.
You might, Drone. Do it.
I think I might.
Do it.
Do it. Go.
You know, it's a community reaction, so. Oh, and real fast while waiting for the stream to start, so feel somewhat prepared to discuss. That's
nice.
awesome. I love hearing that. Okay, where is it? Twitter Trump, very funny. Well, where are the answers, guys?
I want you to all awesome. Thank you.
I don't know. Where are the answers?
Giving Trump the bird, Twitter. Oh God. Now remember, be careful, folks. We're not going into a big political thing tonight. This is more about what's happening. Trump being fact-checked by Twitter. Yes. But okay, what is the design of it based on? Too? There's a layout that inspired the thumbnail. There's a layout that inspired the thumbnail. Sorry, I worded it bad at the beginning. The thumbnail itself is based on a piece of pop culture.
The community post has the exact one-to-one, vertical thing.
Yes.
Executive order. Yes, he signed an executive order to stop us from posting. Yes, but what else? What pop culture phenomena does this remind you of?
All right, tell them. I don't want to do this for too long to them. There you go, folks. There you go. That's what inspired the thumbnail tonight. That's what it's based on too. I was wondering if anybody was going to pick it up. The last one we did with the got purged, and we did that. The Silence of the Lamb video. Interesting.
Very interesting. Yeah. No, this is a reference to a popular movie poster, People versus Larry Flynt. Well, in fact, that was based on an actual Supreme Court case in 1987, where Hustler magazine and Larry Flynt basically were arguing about the free speech and privacy concerns. And if you look in our description, you have the answer right there, as the first sentence actually quotes Larry Flynt from his speech at the Supreme Court in 1987. And it says privacy is not explicitly spelled out in Constitution as freedom of speech is in the First Amendment. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about free speech, but what exactly does it do to your privacy? So yeah, check out that description. It's right there below. Your answer was there. And if you haven't watched the movie, please do. It's a really good movie.
Welcome, Johnny Pockney. Welcome, Dumlamine. Greetings from Poland.
Welcome back. I've been here for a couple of times. Good morning to you, and welcome back.
Welcome. Great to have you in here. Hope you're doing fantastic. And once again, the numbers don't change. That's it is what it is. Let's get into it before I keep bitching about that, okay, tonight.
Johnny Pockney, good to see you here as well. And yes, let's get to it, guys. So nobody gets a special shout out. Go watch a movie, so then we'll talk about it again. Okay, so what happened today? Let's get to it, Andrew. So what do you want me to do? You want me to talk about it?
Yep, we'll kick in because we've already drunk enough time, so we'll do it right into the talk about the topic.
Okay, so as you have seen from the title of this live stream here, yes, Mr. Trump have decided to sign an executive order today seeking to crack down on social media companies. And the decision comes after a move by Twitter, who added some fact-checking tabs alongside Mr. Trump's tweets. Now, we're going to talk about what exactly happened before that, because it might seem like a sudden decision and out of spur of a moment executive order, which in fact it is not. And we're going to show you how it is not and actually was planned probably ahead of time. And we're going to also talk and discuss about pros and cons of this executive order if it actually comes into place. And we'll let you know how it can affect you as a creator and as an internet user. I want to know your thoughts about that as well. So stick around. And we're going to discuss that as well. Once again, just want to remind you to keep being respectful for each other in the chat. And again, it's not about politics. It's about internet. We're in Canada. We're nobody's side.
Yeah, exactly, folks. And please respect each other's. Some will be for Trump. Some will, it's not about Trump, okay? I want to make that very clear. It's not about the political side. It's talking about this bill going through. So let's just leave it at that, okay, please?
That's right. So before we go through the executive order, I wanted to step back a little bit so you give a little bit of a backstory to what was going on before and what exactly is this all about. Well, this executive order, in fact, is about the Communications Decency Act. And you might not have heard about that before, but in fact, it is the backbone of all social media right now. All media in general have been since 1995. And it was introduced then, by Senator James Axon. And till now, it is still have been, up until today, the very most important law protecting internet speech. Section 230, which we are talking about and which will directly be affected by this executive order, in fact, it affects big and small websites, it affects blogs, it affects social networks that host any kind of comments section. It also affects YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and any big social media companies that are out there. So no matter if you are a CEO of Facebook or Twitter, or if you are an owner of a blog post, your own website where you post your blogs, if you have an open comment section or people can share something from their own creation and their information, you fall under the section 230. Now, what this 230 does is that it actually protects social media from being liable if something goes wrong. If somebody posts some silly, stupid stuff, they are not liable, or you are not liable if you are the one who have posted a blog and somebody posted not so nice things in your comment section. Well, that was in 1995. They created that as a protective measure, so to say. But in January of this year, and that's what we talked about in February in our live stream earlier this year, they have decided to actually start changes to 230. And this is the part where I was talking about this is not a spur of a moment decision from Mr. Trump, as in January, Senator Lindsey Graham, who's actually representative of the same party as Mr. Trump, proposed eliminating Abusive and Rampant Neglect of Interactive Technologies Act, called EARN-IT. The bill, in fact, proposed removal of Section 230, and in fact, it proposed putting Attorney General and a commission as responsible actors in filtering out, basically, social media. And also stopping end-to-end encryption of systems. Now, if you know, maybe you don't know, but obviously all social media platforms out there are encrypted, so people from government, let's say, don't have an access to your personal messages, DMs, texts, and so on. Now, this proposal in January, one of the parts of it imposed stopping this end-to-end encryptions, therefore lifting any security and privacy veils on breaching freedom of speech function of internet, because literally everybody would be able to see at any pretense what you have wrote to anybody, although it is your private conversation. Now, we talked about that, so I'm not going to be getting into that too deep, and we talked about the loss of freedom of speech and your privacy earlier in February, as I said, when this new Earn It Act came into place. I just put the link in the chat. I'll put it in the description as well. It is timestamped, and you can check it out. All the details about it. One more thing I want to say about it is that actually this Earn It Act that proposed the removal of 230, the same as today's executive order does, actually was lobbied by big media companies like IBM and Disney. Well, you might make your own analytical decisions right there, but yes, Disney was lobbying that, well, quite a little time before they went live online.
Do you think it could benefit them in any shape or form?
Well, that's an open question. But that was in January of this year. It kind of went still in the air. It was hanging in the air. It was being discussed, but nothing really have come out of it. It was proposed and it has been discussed since on a numerous basis. Now, fast forward earlier this week. Keep in mind what I just told you about January. Fast forward earlier this week, Trump tweets a series of tweets involving a rumor of death from 20 years ago. Now, somebody might say, it's true, somebody might not, but nevertheless, the widower of the person that have passed away, being very upset of the tweets, writes an open letter to Twitter's CEO Jack Dorsey and asks to delete Trump's tweets as untrue and unsubstantiated. Twitter doesn't reply, but instead starts fact-checking Trump's tweets by embedding a fact-check button with 2 of his tweets. Only 2 of his tweets. There's a specific tweet right here where they said, we added a label to 2 Donald Trump tweets about California's vote-by-mail plan as part of our efforts to enforce our civic integrity policy. We believe those tweets could confuse voters about what they need to do to receive a ballot and participate in the election process. That's the only reply that was there. After that, Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg says that private companies shouldn't be arbiter of truth. What it said, basically, that Facebook is against what Twitter did and they wouldn't have done it. Now, a little known fact to you, Mark Zuckerberg also was for Earn It Act in January. He actually wants to impose more sanctions on social media. He wants to have encryption lifted and being see-through and transparent for social media. And now he's basically against Twitter and saying that social media shouldn't have any part in, truth or lie detection.
Once again, funny for big money to flip-flop.
That's right. 2 days later, Trump started the day, which is today, with a tweet. This will be a big day for social media and fairness. That was posted just earlier today. Very huge statement right there. And just a couple hours later, well, in fact, that was like 3 or 4 hours earlier from the time now, he signs an executive order saying, today I'm signing an executive order to protect and uphold the free speech and rights of the American people. Now, I will include the link to the whole executive order that you'll be able to read through when you want and make your own decision afterwards. But I wanted to tell you that it has numerous sections. 5 of them has the main meaning. One of them is policy on free speech. The second one goes on protections against online censorship. Third one is protecting federal taxpayer dollars from financing online platforms that restrict free speech. The 4th section goes federal review of unfair or deceptive acts or practices. And the 5th one, state review of unfair, deceptive acts or practices and anti-discrimination. Now, in his executive order, Trump actually refers to Twitter fact-checking his tweets. He actually includes that in the executive order. Now, no matter what you think about this or that, what exactly does it mean for you? Trump's executive order seeks to empower federal regulations to amend Section 230. The section that we just talked about. The section that we just talked about was implemented as a security path for social media in 1995. The same section that they wanted to remove in January, led by the same party people in January by Earn It Act. So yes, this is not all of a sudden reaction to Twitter fact-checking Trump's tweets. This is actually executive order as a continuation of Earn It Act proposal back in January. For those of you that didn't know, it is continuation. It is not all of a sudden reaction. Now, the reminder again, the Section 230 of this act gives social media companies broad authority to moderate speech on their platforms. The order seeks to create new regulations for how social media companies are allowed to moderate speech, and it calls for the Federal Trade Commission to keep a list of complaints from users about political bias on social media platforms. Now, that's in short. Now, there are pros and there are cons, like it is for many things out there. So what are the pros of this? Well, Trump's order calls for tech companies to lose their Section 230 protection if they do anything to discriminate against users, like restrict their access to a platform without giving them a fair hearing or take other action that isn't in line with terms of service. So basically, platforms wouldn't be able to limit any kind of content. They wouldn't be able to ban anybody from the platform anymore or remove. They wouldn't be able to remove the content of the posts, videos, as YouTubers, or comments. Basically, the TOS, the terms of service, would have to reflect neutrality, and therefore the posts wouldn't be able to be removed. The videos wouldn't be able to be removed only based on TOS. So unless it is self-harming or harming other people directly, it basically should be allowed to be there. No matter if it is true or not. That's what it says. And some might say it is a pro because lots of people might be still able to be on platforms and not be banned, and sometimes we have glitches and sometimes videos get removed for no reason. So those all problems would be avoided. Now, what are the cons for that? Order would be giving power of regulation to government assigned commissions, Federal Trade Commission, with that raising the question of reintroduction of state-mandated censorship. So now every platform has its own TOS and own regulation system for what they are removing or not, and kind of like a local private company censorship. And you might say it's a good or bad, but if that gets removed, this new law would basically introduce Federal Trade Commission and its subcommissions as state-mandated censorship. They would have best practices lists, which then would be guided by the commissioners, and they would be the ones basically choosing which content is okay and which content is not.
Yep.
Are we back to state-mandated censorship? I'm from post-Soviet country. Sounds very familiar to me. Currently, the 230 Act makes it nearly impossible to sue platforms like Facebook or Google for the words, images on videos posted by the users. And removing 230s would also mean removing safe harbor for platforms like this, and also for smaller creators and smaller forum owners, like mentioned before, blogs with enabled comment section or any kind of forums that you might be having. You would become liable for any kind of content that would be against the state law. Eventually, it might lead in restricted use of tools on the platform. For example, and YouTube might be removing comment section altogether. Twitter might not let you be as free in your posting abilities there. They wouldn't directly interfere with your speech, but they would have to really limit the way you use their tools in order to comply with the new ruling.
There's even a bigger part of all this, and it could go to the point. Because if you listen to a lot of things that Xenia just named off, does not only sound like post-Soviet, but there's a reason why China and places like that have their own controlled media, social medias, excuse me. You could see some of the big ones pull ship and go offshore. And I've often thought of that. And people can say, it doesn't matter. But you know what? A ton of money goes with them if they do. And yes, even if they have to pay a parting tax and all that stuff and everything, that's where a majority of the money is today. It's not like years ago, like, oh, well, I don't care. They're not going to go anywhere, like the car industry and all the bigger industries and that. I mean, this is talking Wi-Fi. There's all kinds of options to it. And that's what could happen. And then it turns into an absolute free-for-all. And that's always, and this I can call it tinfoil hattish. I don't really want to think it is. I'm just saying it could be a worst case result of all of it. And it did happen years ago with the poker, online poker industry and stuff like that and everything. And there's no stopping them from doing something like that. And sometimes with everything going on, I'm surprised they haven't done it already, to be perfectly honest. So it could have dramatic effects onto it for sure. I'll be doing my... Elsa, honestly, I'm going to time you out. You got to stop the self-promoting. I've already removed a couple. Seriously, it's enough is enough. Like, stop. Nobody else is doing it. Tread lightly, please. Respect what everybody else is respecting you.
Now, I see some comments in the chat here now. Nothing has been going on just yet. An executive order doesn't mean that it is, in fact, starting today. What it means that was it, at least in a draft, it was stated that within 30 days of the signing of the order, the Secretary of Commerce is to file a petition for the rulemaking, so for the actual law, within the Federal Communication Commission for regulations that clarify the scope of Section 230. So they basically have 30 days now to come up with a new law. There is already the Earn It Act that they have been discussing and most likely will be coming back into the light after this because it's already drafted. It already is there. The question that we have here, how much they're actually will be talking about the privacy issues that will be uncovered with the removal of 230. Yes, it might be giving more freedom of speech for you to be able to say whatever you really want in a way. But on the other hand, removing 230 comes with liability for you if you're a creator, and also with a transparency within your private conversation because it does remove the encryptions that the social media systems have across the board. So there's always two sides of the coin, and if one of them might sound pretty appealing, well, if somebody lurking at your DMs and messages, private messages, because they wouldn't be encrypted anymore, doesn't sound so good anymore. And the same as with liability, if you have a blog and you literally have to limit your comments or be liable for whatever people are writing there. Right now you're not, but you would be. The same as COPPA goes right now with YouTube. You are liable if you have open comments for kids.
Well, thank you so very much for that. Do appreciate it. It's great to see you. Evening to the best couple on YouTube. Thank you so very much. Just in time prepping. SMT as well. Welcome. Where is it now? B Lady says maybe they want each country to have their own internet. And that would be, that's why I say about offshore if it comes to that point. If we want anything, we become a global community. I can't see any reason why turning that back. That would be putting the world back 50 years if we go that way. So hoping it's not, but you know what? If the depending degree that, because once it starts monitoring, how much would it maybe be monitored, turned over? You never know. In the end, it might end up going that way. Who knows?
It definitely is the beginning of the end of World Wide Web because it definitely is censoring and filtering out, and not just US. Like I mentioned at the beginning of this live stream, New Zealand just came out with a new legislation today restricting the way the social media works, and so does have some European countries as well. And Andrew mentioned China, so it has been happening across the board, definitely limiting the way World Wide Web was even, let's say, 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely the wings are clipped, and we get in some places why some. I know a lot of us, and I was into it from the early on age, just want to hold on to the glory days, the way things were. It's understandable that some things have to be dealt with, and some things have to be updated as time goes on. Otherwise, we get stagnant and fall behind. But to crush what it is created, look what we're doing right now. Just think about this for a minute. We when you do things, and the way the world changes so fast now, we take so many things for granted. Just think a couple of years ago how hard it would have been to do what we're doing right now. worldwide from our house in Montreal, all of you from across the globe, not only real-time video, but interacting with the chat, sharing. We can share other videos while we're doing pictures. I mean, we take it for granted. This is more monumental than the moon because it's made us one planet. It's unreal. And I'm not going to get all sappy over it, meaning that way. I mean, it has opened up the world like it has never been opened up in the history of man. This is an absolutely phenomenal feat that's going on right now. We just take it for granted because technology changes so fast. What's wow today is forgotten tomorrow, dismissed, or just accepted and moved on because there's something new around the turn. But it's quite a world we're living into, and this stuff you don't want to see it stifled. It's only just begun to show its capabilities. So,
and that's why we quoted Larry Flynt at the beginning, and that's why Andrew used Larry Flynt movie poster at the beginning, because exactly what he said back in 1987. Privacy is not explicitly spelled out in Constitution, as freedom of speech is in the First Amendment. Freedom of speech is stated out in the First Amendment, but if you read, there is nothing directly addressing privacy. And this is exactly what it is about. You are Trump, or we are going to be talking about freedom of speech, but the privacy is going to be coming behind it and being basically removed from social media by this executive order. We have Sparky Jones here asked what is encryption. Encryption is basically that they can't access, like nobody from the outside of the conversation can't access it unless there would be a court order, let's say.
Yeah.
But when they remove it, anybody can have access, like from the government. They don't need court order.
Think of it like
that.
sending an email now that's encrypted versus years ago. You know the old movies where they could just tap a phone line, go outside in town. Like in that perspective, that's kind of what it opens it up to, that they can just go in pretty much on a dime and grab whatever's going on.
Exactly. And if you are doing something there that would be against the law, well, good luck to you.
And that's the thing, and I mean, that's very hard for us to say my non-traditional life. I don't think it's too much on our behalf because neither one of us are U.S. citizens.
Yep.
I don't think that people who wrote the Constitution could have imagined the privacy issues we face today. I'll give you an example. For in Canada, we've been like Montreal, for instance, is one of the oldest established villages, whatever, in North America. But as a country itself, Canada, we only had our Bill of Rights in 1982. And even that didn't constitute for what's going on in the world right now. Just to put it in perspective. Things are changing that way as well, and it's hard to think that something 300 some years ago could could have had any foresight what was going to happen at this point in this day and life that we live into. So here we don't have freedom of speech the way it would be seen in the United States. Technically, we don't have freedom of speech. And I'm trying to think of an example of it. For instance, there was two girls. I remember this was the first case where it was instituted. Were insulting an Asian couple that were at a park bench, and happened there was people around that caught all this, and because it fell under the rights and freedoms for those people, they actually got a $25,000 fine. They were teenagers. Their parents had to come up. I don't know if they had to pay the full thing in the end. It was a big court case. I forget now that part. It's been a long time. So it's not really technically free speech here, because they couldn't say what they said. They actually got caught with it and had a huge fine from it. So.
Well, yeah, here free speech can't be used to promote hatred against anybody, any kind of groups or people as individuals in general. So free speech doesn't mean that you're free to say whatever comes in your mind. You're free to express your opinions without, being directly hateful towards anyone.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, what there's a difference between maybe the countries. Those of you in U.S. maybe can get into more details of that. Omar Master, hello. Welcome back. How are you
Yes,
doing?
Good to see you. Good to see you. Hope you're doing fantastic. Cubs Den as well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's great to have you guys in here. Hope you're doing fantastic. Our laws are different than the USA law for sure. Exactly. And you know what? I like to think some of them, they because it was 1982, but I brought it up more to say, like, even in 1982 till now, look at the changes. They could have never predicted how much we were going to go global. That's not that many years ago that was drafted. So
Definitely. I mean, the scope that have internet has now, and I don't think ever could be, predicted before, even a couple of years ago, the way it is now.
Definitely.
Compsden, hello, how are you? My non-traditional life puts a good point as well. So
Yeah.
much medical information is digital now too. Encryption protects privacy for our medical records as well. Back when it was on paper, you couldn't steal mass info like you can now. Of course, without encryption, there will be a lot of breach of information because it's just going to be so much easier. It's like
Exactly.
taking the fence
And
away
not
from
that
the
they've
house.
opened it up. Like, look at the state of the world we're into right now, and how dependent we're playing catch up. Our doctors that are playing with these medical access to use during these times, and thank God that is in there, that kind of encryption, because otherwise they'd never be able to go through with it. You'd never be able to do anything with your medical files unless that encryption existed. So
Exactly. And it doesn't mean that everybody has something to hide. It's not like, government wants to spy on everyone. But first of all, we're talking about quiet times when everything is fine, then everything is fine. But if something happens, like a war or epidemic, like we have now, it's definitely gets more volatile for that as well. Plus, you got to think not only about the government that have access now, easier access to everything what you have, but also some bad people, so to say, that now don't have those fences anymore.
guys, though, really, whether you're for Trump or against him, please, though, avoid the turning in the politics side into it, and that is too divisive a thing. This is based more on this policy alone, please. I know everybody has their deep. Not here to change it. We're Canadian. It's none of our business to even stick into how you guys are doing it. So, guys, you can just keep it that way and just keep it equal, because everybody's just gonna have strong opinions on both sides. So.
Wheel Scale Snowmobiles, The People versus Larry Flynt is an awesome study on freedom of speech. I encourage people to view it. Yes, it's a fantastic movie if you haven't watched it. And I also will include some of the speech that I was quoting here as well down below in the description as well, so you can read some of the actual speech writings as well from 1987. And I mean, it's still valid. But the point of using that poster today was that it is actually the same thing today. And back then, we weren't talking about social media on internet. But it is the same thing. Just right now, that's exactly what is happening on social media and all across the board. As you say, it is a positive and negative side to all, but losing the privacy protection will not lead to anything good. It is opening too many doors. Yes, what confuses me that is never get mentioned anywhere, and removing 230 is the only law that protects the privacy on social media and internet. That's the only main law that is there. And by removing it, which basically this executive order is suggesting to remove it and make a new law, unless they include some kind of new regulations about the privacy, they are gone. Those fences are gone. And I really hope that the other side and Americans are starting to talk about it, because it's good. It is not about politics. It is about the transparency and how much do you really want to be transparent on social media. We are already putting so much out there. We're oversharing. Everybody can find where we live. Everybody have seen our pictures of the family, from their birth to their last day on earth. We're so much out there. How much really do we need to have the transparency even more? Do I want people in my DMs? I don't have really anything to hide, but at the same time, kind of feels creepy that anybody can have access to it without court order. Because court order, you only would be able to have it if you have a legit accusation, where you have to have a warrant to have an access. And even then, you look at an Apple cases where they couldn't decrypt the phone just because the police ordered them. They just couldn't do it. So now, with removing this, they wouldn't even need this court order. They would be I don't know, would be as easy as looking somebody's social insurance number if you're a government official and seeing everything what is underneath it. Well, they look you up and they see all DMs you have ever had and everything you ever talked about. And I assume government would probably have, filters and words, trigger words, and all of that. Like, how much do we want to be on that platter? Like I said, in good times, it's all good. But what happens if something goes nuts? Then anything can be used against you.
Yep.
And again, I might be biased because of where I come from, but that's exactly what was happening there.
Yeah, it's not just government thing. That opens it up to a lot of private industry to make a ton of money running down that kind of stuff.
Insurances.
Insurance.
God forbid you're lying that you are not smoking or that you haven't had a fast food in 3 months. And if you have that in your DMs to somebody that you just ate your hamburger, by the way, happy National Hamburger Day, well, you can lose your insurance. It sounds funny, but that's exactly how it can be utilized against you, because as we all know, all that information already, the ones that is accessible now, has been sold to different companies.
Destination Chronicle says, I have driven by other YouTubers' houses and thought, oh, I know that house. Wow.
But it happens. It happens, because of the oversharing. Now, all that information...
Rounded Rob, I love having you in, but I got to remove it because I've been doing it for the other side as well. I don't want to be pushing him in either way. Honestly, because it's just too divisive a topic. Sorry, I love having you in here, but I'm just telling you so you know why. And I'm doing both sides.
You're more than welcome to talk about the Act and the 230 Act. That's what we're talking about. As I said, we are in Canada, so we can't vote, so we're in
it's none of our business. That's why we're staying up.
No way one or the other side whatsoever.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sorry, Rounded Rob. Didn't mean to offend you. Like I said, doing it on both sides like that. So.
On one hand, we could get excited as creators and think that there is going to be less censorship from the private companies, like it is, for example, with YouTube now more and more with removing the videos. But on the other hand, who knows what kind of censorship would be implemented there by the state?
Sorry, Patricia, I got to do the same on the other side too. We got to keep it. That was my worry tonight about using, even though he's directly involved. That was kind of my worry about the whole thing. I just don't want to turn it into battling sides between them. I know everybody has an opinion onto it. Our channel's not really cut out for it. That's why. So.
And it's not really about Trump. It is about the 230 and should it be changed or not. There should be tweaks because it have been implemented since 1995. Well, most definitely there should be some changes made just because of the way our social media is working, the way internet is so much different nowadays than back then at the very beginning of it. There should be definitely some changes made according to what and how we have developed, our life on social media. But is this the case? Is this the answer? Is removing 230 altogether is the answer? And we just wanted you to know that all, or at least many sides of what happens when 230 gets removed by the executive order, if it does. It is not only about freedom of speech, it is also about privacy. And that is something that we hope they mention along the lines somewhere as well. And the other thing that we wanted to mention to you, that it is not all of a spur of a moment thing. It has been in the background working at it at least since the January of this year with the Earn It Act that was proposed, also asking for removal of 230 Act. So just some things to think about. We will post in the description, as always, all the resources we have used, as well as a direct link to the executive order and direct link to 230 Act that will allow you to check it for yourself, what exactly it's about and what parts are more important for you. Or maybe not. You can draw your own decisions on that. GLA member, hello.
How are you doing?
Good to see you here.
Good to see you. I don't know what is going on tonight. I don't know, bot or YouTube or both or what, but our numbers are going insane here.
Well, yeah, they're probably suffocating. It's probably the last time we're using this name in the title. Most likely we're going to turn to members stream only on that one.
Exactly.
I agree the law needs updating since social media has rapidly changed. However, how it is changed impacts people's safety in ways that are amazingly complicated. Yes, I agree, mine on traditional life. Exactly. Exactly. It definitely is, and it's definitely more complicated than it ever was, 30 years ago, 20, 30 years ago. I guess it's just gotten so scary in the last few years, even though I'm careful. I know I'm too open with my opinion. Uh, yeah, you see, there's always two sides of it. And as I said, we're in Canada, so it's not really.
No, exactly, and it's just such a divisive thing, and people are equally passionate with any other politician for or against, and that's something we don't want to get into. It's better off for everybody just to focus on the bill and not the person, because it shouldn't be about it, and that's why he's in there. Just because he's the one who signed it today, it involved his tweet, but it's not about his whole political reign in one way or another. Hey, Nomad Unbroken, how are you? Great to see you. Welcome.
Yeah, exactly, guys. No matter who is the president afterwards, after the election, the bill is still going to be there to analyze and go through. Obviously, the changes are not going to be coming into effect before the elections, most likely. It doesn't happen so quick, especially with everything going on now. It's going to be even slower than that. But so there might be the same president, might be another one. The law will still be there and will have to be dealt with nevertheless. So no matter which side you're at, it's still important that you get involved in, in analyzing and understanding what is going on and how impact it can be on you as a viewer, but also as a creator. Imagine Pixelpia here, for example, who has a blog and has comments on it, would be liable for somebody putting some stupid stuff in her comment section. Like, the same as now with COPPA, YouTubers are liable, if they're not marking their videos as made for kids, they potentially are liable. Well, it would be the same thing. It would be literally the same thing, just with a comment section, or if you have a forum, anything like that. So how much it would actually... on one hand, it opens the space for freedom of speech. On the other hand, it closes it because it just will remove the tools that are there for expressing yourself, like comment section, for example. If you remove the tool, well, there is no problem. YouTube have done it already with kids' channels. There would be no problem of removing from the rest of the videos as well, as part of protection of the platform. Colleen's Outdoor Life, hello, how are you? How are you doing here? We just went through the executive order and how it can impact you as a viewer and a creator. There are pros and cons, as always. There are both sides of it, as well as a little backstory of how it all come to place, beginning from January of this year. Like I said, it's not all of a sudden spur of a moment thing. It has been planned ahead of time, and sometimes you just never know. No matter what media you're watching, it always seems very urgent and spur of a moment, when in fact it is not. It is not whatsoever. Welcome here. If you just came here, Dwayne, hello and welcome back here. Good to see you. I can't imagine how YouTubers manage their comments with over thousands of subs. Well, we are no big, huge YouTuber, but I can tell you that we used to answer each and every comment that we had on our, well, Andrew mostly, but answer each and every comment we had on our videos, and then go to each and every creator's video, watch it, and comment there as well. It broke our hearts the first time. We
Well,
only
it didn't
had to
even
do
work out.
cards.
It took 3 weekends because we always said Sunday because we were on 6 days a week. Sunday was our day. Saturday was our day. We weren't going to do it. And what would happen? End up spending 12 hours catching them all up from the week that we didn't do.
Yeah.
That was so. Yeah. It was hard. It was really, really, really hard.
It does help the growth of your channel, and we try to do it as much as possible. Again,
Yep.
Andrew mostly, but it definitely not as much as we probably should. And big YouTubers, they have teams that are doing that. They have teams that actually answer comments for them. It's not them that
And they're
that
not
answer.
answering every single one of them
No.
by any sense of the word. So
Yeah, they usually are there maybe themselves in the first half an hour of the posting of the video or so, but then after that, it's their team that
I
is
always love
working.
when Phil DeFranco or somebody says, "But I'd like to know what you think in the chat." I just picture him in the toilet going through all 27,000 comments.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, I never thought of it that way. It ain't happening. Yeah.
My non-traditional life says, wow, we were talking about COPA in December and it's almost June. Yeah, we started
Yep.
talking about
COPA
COPA
in the
at
fall.
the beginning of September. Yeah, end of August we actually talked about it the first time. And back then, even big YouTubers, when we contacted them about it, said, oh, it's not going to affect anyone.
Yeah.
And look at that now. Say, do you think this will actually happen?
Yeah, I'm just going to say it. Sorry,
Yep.
just was waiting for a spot here. FCC COPA compliance, for instance. You can find some of the playlists here, folks, on our homepage as well. There's other ones under the playlist tab as well that you can find about it if you want to go back and watch some of them. See some of our predictions.
Yeah, I think one of the first ones was Adpocalypse we did on COPA. I think that was in September, yeah. Do you think this will actually happen? Well, it definitely will be triggering some movement around 230. And as I said, the ruling of the Earn It Act is already there. So the question is, are they going to be using it as a new base or backbone for the new legislation? We don't know. It definitely takes time for all of that to go through. It's not going to happen tomorrow. But they do have 30 days only to bring up the new legislation to the House to introduce it. So in 30 days, we're going to wait and see what exactly are they bringing. Is it going to be Earn It Act or is it going to be something else? We'll have to wait and see in 30 days.
Yep.
Say
Congrats, Johnny. That's awesome.
Say that a troll comes and writes comments on my blog, I could be responsible, so I would close the comments, and that would limit people's opportunity to express their opinions. Yes, exactly. That's exactly what would be the result of this executive order if it actually comes into place, that's exactly would be that. You most likely would choose to limit the comment section, which in turn would limit opportunity to express their opinions, talking about freedom of speech, right? It's just so scary as Facebook, you have to use your real name. I don't do Facebook in public, only my family. Yeah, exactly. What worries me with the liability changing is we would have to look back at past comments to comply if the rules changed and what is allowed. Yeah, well, that's a question too. Would that apply to the past comments or only from the date it would be actually, introduced and come to life as law? That's a good question. COPA applied for the previous posts and videos as well. So it's a good question to think about as we go through with it. Will it apply to the past posts and comments as well?
A little side note, I see people were still talking about comments and that. Here's another one of our cheat sheets. You see here, I've written long replies on that's from my rant video the other night. Here's the trick, folks. Voice dictation. Enable it if you're on Windows 10. Just type in, I forget what you type in now. I forget what it's called to enable it. Well, we'll tell you anyways. Hit Windows H, and it's going to say that you have to enable it. You will. So Windows, the button Windows H. And how I prefer to do it is actually Google Docs. Just open up a Google Doc, go under, bring up the microphone, or F7 I believe is a shortcut, and use voice dictate and paste them in. You can give more detailed replies and stuff like that at a fraction of the time. So just make sure to read it over because sometimes it can get a bit disjointed. But don't talk too fast, but you don't need to talk like this. You can talk like this. Just try not to talk really fast that nothing can hear anything like that. Just say, hey there, I just wanted to say thank you for the reply. And if it's from Xenia, you can tell. Usually it's a little bit shorter, but it's handwritten, so there's that love and tenderness into it.
Why? Because it doesn't understand accents. And Pixelpia, don't even try that thing. It's not going to work for you.
Justin Trudeau is the 23rd and current Prime Minister of Canada, says Dickie's Beer Reviews, because he just asked above, who is your Canada's president? Now, and I was just about to say, we don't know when we got a Prime Minister, but yes, there you go. I can't even verify the 23rd. I'm just going to take your word onto it. That sounds about right. How are you, Dickie? Good to see you.
Cheers to you.
Oh, somebody else is leaving. Xenia's on the road tonight talking. Wheels, keels, snowmobiles, you have a fantastic night. Thank you so much for coming. Great to have you.
Ninth element, in fact, you can give now permissions of moderation to other people. Like if you trust, there's now a new feature on YouTube where before you had to share a password for somebody to access it, but now there are actually limited filtered permissions where you can give somebody permission to, let's say, answer the comments, but they can't see any of your analytics or anything like that. So lots of the people are using that and involving their community for that. But as we said, bigger people do have people working for them for comments, that's for sure. And it makes up words. Yes, that's true. You use it, Pixelpy. Well, it doesn't work for me. How does it work for you? Did you train it? And I didn't think my accent was so bad, but it doesn't get me. It takes me, like, it does understand me somewhat, but then I have to go back and, make the corrections of the mistakes. Might as well just write what it is.
Windows learns your accent after a while, Ksenia.
After what while? I just sound so cumbersome. I have to go back and to correct it and everything.
I tried it under, because you can pick the different languages. I tried it under the Latvian one, Xenia's home country, but it always says, sorry, I'm on a break. So
I'll have to try again, because I like the feature. Definitely. I love the way Andrew leaves.
Oh, God, Farmwell just had a bat in the effing house.
Oh, I feel ya. We had a bat here, too.
What a nice thing to try and get rid of, isn't it? Yeah, that's a lot of fun. Not.
Had an Eastern European accent, yeah. I find even our kids talk a bit different because I talk different.
Certain things, skipping out sometimes the little letters, which I understand is because of conversion. It's Xenia and I tease her a lot, but really the French do the exact same thing as that as well. Because everything, it's the bringing over through the translation. There's always a the in front of everything. Where, of course, in English, it always sounds like you're working for royalty. Would you like the supper? Are you going to eat the ham? Behold, the ashtray. The ashtray. Always
Cooking Green Ambassadors is asking if it's a Wuhan bat. Oh my God! And autocorrect is a drunken little gremlin. Yes. I know, every time you correct, but I don't want to go back and correct it with the writing. What's the point of doing it with a voice if I have to go back and correct it with a keyboard after? Like, it defeats the whole purpose. It takes me twice as long to leave a comment if I do that.
Farmwell, I opened the front door and he eventually flew out. Well, that's what we tried. He was caught between, we have the light blocking curtains and IKEA panels in front of them. And of course, he couldn't go behind just on the curtains. He had to go up in between the both of them. So I opened the window, tried working him out from one side, holding the other curtain closed against the window so he'd find his way out. And that didn't work, so we had to go with plan B, which was a lot messier. So I'm glad to hear that. I didn't want to do it. Skywatcher Sandra says, butts eat tons of insects.
Yeah.
They sure do. And I did try for 2 hours. 2 hours I tried everything to get them to go.
They're actually super smart. I watched a couple of the documentaries of National Geographic and stuff. They actually, if they don't have enough food to eat, they actually feed each other. They know in the crowd, like, who are the ones that need the most, and they actually share with them first. So they're super. You gotta
and there's an understanding that they do it. They have to go back and do it for the other ones as well. There's none allowed to be lazy. They can't one side do it and the other one not.
Yeah,
if
super
they're sharing
smart.
it, they have to do it with the other one, or they get kind of exiled. So.
They're super smart. It's just I am scared because my grandma said when she was growing up, she had one that got tangled in her braid. And she couldn't get it out.
That's that old wives' tale. They all said that. We all had grandmothers that got caught. They used to say that all the time with your hair.
Well, it's possible.
Oh my God!
Imagine that flapping in your hair, like oh my goodness. Otherwise, they're just little mice.
Yes, agreed.
Fluffy.
Agreed. That's right.
And I use Samsung as well for a lot of things. I don't know. My phone doesn't understand me whatsoever. Yesterday, I tried to ask it to take a screenshot for 15 times, and then I just almost threw it to the wall. Because it didn't understand me.
See, I am typing now, and I can't spell Pusa Studios LOL suspiciously. Cooking Green says, I do not hear your accent. I have lived with it all my life. I love hearing happy birthday.
Well, yeah, I don't hear my accent, the same as I wouldn't hear yours, like I didn't even know Andrew has accent till we started to do live streaming. And then people started saying that he has an accent. I'm like, what? Yeah,
I know. I find out of Canada, where it really stands out, of course, is Eastern Canada, which they're here down there to the boy they were coming up to pick up the fence. They talk like that. It's like Leprechaun on helium type of thing. And then you get like Western Ontario and places like that. That's the stereotypical what you do in hoser, all that crap I find comes out. And I have an uncle lives out that way. I hear it all the time. Mostly. Kind of between there though, I don't find there's as much. I desperately try to avoid saying with all my heart, but hey, Urban Explorer, how are you?
Hello.
Welcome.
Welcome back here.
Welcome back.
Nomad Broken says, I'll feed it and hug it and give it a name. The bat.
Ooh, I don't know
So,
if bats give good hugs.
I want squirrel for a pet, and Nomad wants a bat for a pet. I don't know. Where would you keep it? And totally would be up at night, so that would be. And the sound is terrifying. Have you heard the sound? It was squeaking. Oh my god, I have never heard anything like that.
It wasn't just the bat that was squeaking.
I was squeaking too. Yes, we all know that. I hate voice programming. It never understands me. It never seems to learn anything I'm saying. Patricia, in the same line with me, we're talking about the voice commands on commenting, and yes, the same thing. My family always make fun of me because I say that was good when people ask how something I know, right? And there's a whole bunch of stuff. They're laughing at me every day.
Anything that bites is an enemy. Yeah, that's pretty well said. I like that.
That's right. A pet bat, Pixelpia. Oh my goodness. That's something interesting.
I had a pet ball, but never the bat. Well, a glove one time, but we didn't get along, so
I guess that's Canadian humor. Touche! I got back at you
You're
now.
proud of yourself, aren't you?
Yes, I am. Well, you're laughing at me, making fun every day.
Guys,
so.
let's time it. I'm going to turn off the music and the echo. Let's time date this one. 10:12 p.m. Thursday, May 28th. Xenia made a funny.
Well, it went better than a pork chop joke, so.
Yeah, that was quite.
I tried it today with our daughter. She didn't understand it either.
You were so proud of yourself too when you said it. It was like, I'm sorry, it was like the age group that it was meant for. You told the exact same way. It was like our daughter came in to tell us. You just were beaming with it.
Yeah, but she didn't understand it. She looked at me the same way as you did the other day. So I don't know. I gotta be better with that. Good morning. How are you doing, by the way?
Kookaburra? You named the bat?
Kookaburra?
Drunkings in Darwin. I used to have a bat. Kookaburra. That is such an Australian name. Smashed a few over the neighbor's fence with that one.
There you go. There'll be a new name for the actual bat.
And Dwayne says bats are creepy to me. They have a place. Outside of houses and stuff, that's where they tend, just like other wild animals, and I want to be out. And they do eat a ton of mosquitoes, and as long as they're not bothering me, I'm golden with them.
There is such a wildlife invasion lately. If you've seen our Instagram post and our Facebook post, we almost cooked turkey for supper the other day. There was a wild turkey on the streets of Montreal, guys, literally.
I've never heard. I actually told him she was wrong. I said that she was wrong. I said it's an old goose. Got a ton of Canadian geese around here and that, so I stand corrected. I didn't think she could tell the difference. I stand corrected. It was a turkey. It was a wild turkey.
Our kids came running in and said, it's a turkey. And, we heard about it. Andrew said it's impossible, so I went with my camera to see.
There you go.
Because I have zoom lens.
Kookaburra is a brand of cricket bat. See, of course, wouldn't know that. They do play cricket here. I watch them play sometimes. There's this gigantic field we have behind us. And I do see them playing cricket on a number of occasions. Still trying to quite figure it out. I went and looked up the rules. I wasn't much further ahead, but it's interesting. Are you going to make it amphibious? Oh, sorry.
Urban Explorer is building a bigger van for traveling.
That's awesome. That is fantastic.
I can't wait till the fireflies start. They're in the field. Yeah, so beautiful too.
We're finally leaving them alone, Urban. Exactly. That's why they're all coming out. Actually, rats are a problem in New York and Montreal right now because there's not enough for them to eat because of dumpsters and stuff. So they're starting to hunt.
Restaurants are closed. Yeah.
They're hunting in packs. So.
Well,
Edmonton has coyotes in the street.
We had raccoon here on the tree the other day. We have groundhogs with babies here in the yard. And yesterday, while I was sitting outside, I seen a skunk running just across the street here. So we have a whole bunch here, and we're in Montreal. We are in the city. It's not even, urban area.
Yeah, I thought
area.
I thought I'd seen a water buffalo the other day in the street, but it was just my neighbor with a COVID cut.
You can see, but like squirrels is a normal thing. Sometimes you can see fox running across. Like there's some here and there, but like these couple last days is just every day something new. It's like they're taking over.
But water buffalo is not something common here.
I was saying to somebody yesterday.
Have you seen them before?
I was saying to somebody yesterday
About water buffalo?
that it actually is maybe a bigger conspiracy among wildlife is how to get rid of humans. This whole thing that's going on outside.
Yeah, she's kind of got the reverse of Disney's old movies. That's right. The Bee Lady, you have a fantastic night. Thank you so much for coming. Enjoyed the conversation and all that. Thank you so very much. Be well.
And if you're here for our debate on 230, that was earlier, and we're going to leave a timestamp after this upload so you can get right to the subject of today.
Cooking Green wants to hear the pork chop joke.
No. No, nobody gets it. Even our daughter doesn't, so I can't anymore. Although Cooking Green probably would be the only one that understands it, considering the Latvian roots. Yeah. The Bee Lady, thank you so much. Do appreciate for you being here. Thank you so much. I hope you can get on our Facebook group as well. Today posted a video and some updates on YouTube there. Yeah, some of the stuff I double post on our community page for members, but some of them I can't post it because of YouTube doesn't allow to do the direct video there. So check it out on our Facebook page.
Patricia says we have bunny rabbits and opossums coming up in our yard as if they are surprisingly calm. If I walk out in the yard, one good thing about the bug. I'm sorry, I missed the last one. One good thing about. Oh, the bug. Oh, okay. Yes. The bug going around. Sorry, they're talking so much about insects and wildlife. So now I get you. My apologies. So.
Ooh, you gotta send it to me, Namad. You gotta send it to me.
Don't send it to her.
Please.
No. Space Gallery, how are you? Gracie, hope you're doing fantastic. Welcome.
I watched Space Galleria videos today. It was very funny.
Ninth Element says, I had a deer eat my flowers at my front door. A turkey came inside and pooped on my rug. And the Blue Jays are eating my starts. Ninth Element Zoo Life. My parents got like 8-10 deer a night in their yard, and that's exactly what happened, eating all their tree ends and stuff like that, everything from the apple trees all the way down, and yes, making their way into the garden as well. They're great to have around. Don't ruin nothing. Rabbits don't run from you here, says Farmall. They're used to them. That's right. Oh my God. Nightbo, see you soon. Oh, Johnny Pockney, you have a fantastic one. Stay awesome.
As always, we're going to include all that is in description, not only the timestamp, but also all the resources that you can check for yourself as well.
Thank you, Drunkings and Darwin, for the breakdown on it. Cricket is easy to understand. A team is in until you're all out. Then the team that were all out go in until they're all out. Yes. It was the back and forth on that. I got the kind of gist of it, but yeah, I still got more to see. So
thank you so much for the video, Urban Explorer. I gotta share it with my parents-in-law. In fact,
oh my God.
Yeah, look how cute it is. Yeah, in fact, they were thinking of how to do that and how the slinky. In fact, attaching the slinky to the bottom of your bird feeder will not let them to get into the bird feeder.
There you go.
Yeah, that's what I suggested to them earlier, but this is a different level of it. Crazy. One Canadian photographer here is taking pictures with the squirrels and doing different poses in a little set that he made in his backyard. That's quite interesting approach of being isolated as a photographer, nothing else to shoot, I guess. So he set up this whole big thing, it's a small setup for squirrels. And he's shooting them every day. And now people are actually making different objects for it. He has like a mini shopping cart.
This is compliments of the CBC, the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. Hang on a second, let's close it. So there's some of his shots there. He's got a shopping cart. He's been ordering stuff on Amazon. He was able to find one. And yes, like Xenia said, some people are volunteering to make backdrops, so this is what he's been shooting during the COVID time. So
yeah, apparently he wakes up at like at 6 o'clock in the morning and just does these, which is super cute. I thought it was so cute. Look, even birds are there. Amazing.
Daryl Granger is his name, by the way. Daryl Granger, I believe, on Instagram to find him.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty crazy though.
Great idea. Why not? You know.
There you go.
There
we are.
Slinky must be too slippery. Yes, exactly. It moves too much, so they can't get up. But JRKR, hello. Well.
Yeah, folks, I guess it's about that time. Thank you for being here. I was just checking around. It kind of looks maybe that YouTube was in a big mess tonight as well. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's 2 parts of it, maybe 1. I don't know. But thank you guys so much for being here on this topic. And thank you for everybody keeping respectful. Like I said, it's not that your opinions don't count about Trump. It's just politics in general is just way too divisive a topic and don't want to fall off the point at hand. So thank you to all for understanding. We really do appreciate it. Say the pork joke in Latvian and then English. I really want to hear it, says Cooking Green.
I don't even... Latvian is so hard for me lately. So, okay, fine. The English joke is, what is the best karate move?
What is the best?
I
was going to set you up.
Isn't it funny? Nobody laughs. I laugh. That's good. At least somebody laughs. Good to talk with interesting people sometimes and have a laugh.
Happy Thursday, Skywatcher Sandra, to you as well. And there you go, folks. A little bit of comic relief from you, thanks to my lovely wife. And hope you guys have a fantastic night and be well and be good to each other and all that stuff. It was a good joke. It was a good joke. In the inside, I'm roaring right now. Pixelbia thinks it's funny. Drunk Kings and Darwin says crickets.
Well, I was prepared this time because the first time I was so excited I was telling it during our members.
Hey JDS, how are you? Tumbleweed also from Drunk Kings and Darwin.
I was telling it during our Tuesday members only live stream at the end, you know? I'm like, I'm going to tell the big joke and yeah.
Folks, so whatever happened with YouTube tonight, if you can hit the like button, if you can tweet it or something like that, so we can salvage what we can. If not, it was just great talk with all you guys and that. And we'll see you very, very soon. I didn't hear the punchline, says No Man Unbroken. Well, tell him again, Xenia.
No, I think you'll have to rewatch it. I'm done. I'm done. I still think it's
give
hilarious.
Give it more gusto.
I think it's still hilarious.
Ask the question.
It's still hilarious.
Ask the question, and I will reply to it. I'll work with you onto it, okay? So, let's try it again. The music was probably distracting them, by the way. Wait. Okay, there we go. All right.
What is the best karate move?
I don't know. What is the best karate move?
A pork chop!
Oh!
That's much better.
Oh, there we go. Alrighty.
Okay, we'll have a laugh on the inside, and we'll see you soon again, guys. Come back for all the resources down below description after this live stream. Thank you so much.
Have a great one, everybody. Take care. Bye now.